Quinshon Judkins, sadly, Maurice, an ankle injury for a rookie running back. It was like a thing this year. Cam Scadaboo and Judkins and Amarian Hampton, and it's just these guys going down who we saw some really, really good promise for. When he went down, he had 827 rushing yards, 998 scrimmage yards, both second among rookies when he went down in week 16. So he was rolling. And the thing that I heard out of Cleveland was, look at what he went and did this rookie year, and he didn't play a snap of training camp. Not a snap of training camp. So they are excited about what they saw out of the rookie running back out of Ohio State. Initial thoughts on what you saw from Judkins?
Yeah, I believe in certain situations you can get immediately better in the NFL from college. I thought at Ohio State they had Travion Henderson, who did a lot of stuff. And Judkins kind of did the dirty work. And he didn't get to showcase all of his ability at Ohio State. The Browns got him. He misses all training camp. I love the fact that he stayed in shape. I love the fact that he came in, he was ready to roll. I forget what game it was, but he jumped out like immediately, right?
Yep.
Big runs, catching the ball out of the backfield, blocking, explosiveness. Was the lone bright spot of this Cleveland Browns offense during that time with Dylan Gabriel there and all those things. And so to me, he surpassed a lot of my expectations. And I always speak highly and try to think highly of running backs. But again, I just thought he didn't have quick feet. I didn't see the burst like I saw with the other guys. And then all of a sudden he gets to Cleveland and he has quick feet. All of a sudden he gets to Cleveland, there's the burst. There's the physicality. There's making people miss. Great vision, seeing the holes, all those things. I would say the only thing that I would knock, really not him, but them, is they didn't give it to him enough. I felt like he should have carried the ball way more. He should have touched the ball way more than he did in those games. And he did everything. And if obviously you can see the future, he would have been probably one for me. Him, and then we'll talk about another guy who would have been up there as well. Because I think Genty, his production ended up being really well towards the end. But what Judkins did for the Browns was amazing. Like, he would have been the number one guy for me off the board if that's what I would have known he was going to be that guy.
Yeah, he was. And he's part of a rookie class. You and I were talking about before we started this that, remember, the Browns had finished the season. Their leading passer was a rookie. Their leading rusher, which was Judkins, was a rookie. Their leading receiver was Harold Fannin, the tight end, a rookie. Their leading tackler was Schlesinger, a rookie. Like, they ended up doing all these things. It's a young core that he was a part of, and I'm kind of curious, did you learn anything from him? Because I already heard the compliment, but it's like he missed all this time, and then when he was able to get the opportunity, he was like, watch. And he just, like, took it. Right? Like, I always, when I see certain guys do that, going like, they're not handed it right from the jump. There's circumstances that went on with Judkins during the offseason that forced him not to participate and everything. But it's like, once he got there, he was like, I got something, like, I got time to make up. I got to make up for what I missed. And he took it, like, immediately.
Well, he was a professional. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of times that word is thrown around. I watched Man on Fire the other night, and they were like, I'm a professional. I remember like, no, you don't know what a professional is. Right. And I think in our game, being a professional is being ready for when your number is called. I thought Judkins did that. Right. Like, I remember holding out. And again, these stories I can relate to, and obviously in my way, but I remember holding out and then coming back. Right. And I remember the first game, they were like, are you sure you're going to be ready to play? I was like, bro, this is football. Like, I've always played football. Like, I'm in shape. I'll be fine. Needless to say, before I broke my foot, I was leading the league in rushing after 4 or 5 weeks, right? And so being a professional means a lot to me. And so you don't know how these kids will plan out and do certain things because I don't know them personally. I don't get to see them and have a conversation with them. But what I will say is that he showed professionalism by coming in, being ready, getting the ball, and then jumping on the scene, right? And when he jumped on the scene, again, he showed everything that he showed more with the Browns than he showed in college. And that, to me, is everything.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you're always wondering, like, what translates, what makes the jump. And there's certain guys where it's like when they get to the league, it just kind of clicks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Where he's like, it's like, now it's like, it's just there, and they put it together, and they put the pieces together, and now I'm not really splitting back here. Like you're watching the other guy run in college, going like he's a really good back. Like we break down Travion Henderson on here as well. You're going like, okay, like, and then you might press, you might do something and try to do too much, you might try, and then it was like in the Browns, it was like, no, I get this. Like this is what I do. This is where I'm at. When he's considered a downhill runner, how do you describe downhill? That's the way they obviously view him.
So a downhill runner is very what Omarion Hampton was, a guy that you want his shoulders going north and south, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to get downhill very quickly. Like you can start him going sideways. When he sees it, he's going to put his foot in the ground and he's going to get north right away. He's going to get south right away and try to square you up in the hole. And so I love those kind of guys because, again, tackling, we've spoken about this, is the hardest thing to do in the NFL. So if I could get you and run half a man, run through half of you, and I'm doing it with explosion and burst and strength, then it's going to be hard for you to tackle. And downhill runners, there's certain guys like, just take Fred Warner, for example. Fred Warner is a chase sideline-to-sideline linebacker.
Yes.
He doesn't do well when guys get downhill on him quickly. Like when linemen get on him and running backs get on him quickly, he tends to struggle with that. Roquan Smith is the opposite. He actually wants downhill runners because that's his strong suit, where he can get there and square you up in the hole a little bit. He struggles more sideline to sideline, even though he can get there. And so I think downhill runners, especially in those outside zone systems, those different that where there's the lineman getting up on the second level, you can crease a guy by cutting right behind a lineman. He's trying to get off a block. You're breaking arm tackles. And so downhill runners are it's not a knock on guys. I think some people would say, oh, like, that's a knock. Like, no. That's a guy that's going to get downhill and square his shoulders up and run through some guys, run through some arm tackles.
Yeah, and with the way, and I obviously you know football way better than me, but I think you respect my opinion just a little bit, MJD.
Always.
With the way the league has changed, and we're seeing more and more of these 6 offensive linemen, and then teams like the Rams, who you know better than anybody, then they throw out of those formations, and they throw out of the 6-man, and they go big. And so you and I earlier were talking about like the bigger nickel type of defenses out there, whether it's Nicky Manwari going out there, and it's the way the Seattle does it, or it's the way I think the Panthers, who just played the Rams, love to play that big nickel type of defense. And it's that chess mass about can those guys come downhill as defenders into the box, and that safety play in the box, and go against some of these backs. Well, if you have that bigger formation, but you also like to throw out of it, but you have a downhill running back, do you think that's an advantage in today's game if that back is also, because this is the way the Browns, when I talk to him, feel, he's still explosive and he can still have explosive runs, but he's a downhill back when he's going against maybe potentially lighter boxes with the way that some of this is getting played.
Look, the league it's cyclical, right? It's always something. Like running backs didn't matter 3 years ago. And now everybody wants a running back, right? It's like it just bounces all over the place, and it's crazy. And then the trends go so high and so low. So at first we were a passing league, and now we're a running league, right? Yeah. And I think you said it best when you talk about those chess matches and teams wanting to be in nickel personnel a lot, and they don't want to be with 3 linebackers on the field and all these different things. Well, having a downhill running back that can run through some of these safeties who aren't box guys. I love you said Eamon Warrior from Seattle. I thought he's awesome.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
He flies around. But imagine him having to tackle Judkins 12 times because you have to fit in the box and fit the run game the right way. And you're the fit player, and I'm running from 7 yards away, and you're 5 yards away, and we got to hit. And I weigh just as much as you, or maybe even more. Right? It's going to take a toll on him. And so there are certain fits where I'm like, ooh, that was actually a really good draft. Like that's almost a perfect fit. And the Browns lose Nick Chubb. Judkins reminds me a lot of Nick Chubb. Downhill runner, shoulder square, breaks tackles, can do some really good things. And we saw what Nick Chubb did for the Browns for years. And so for me, I thought that was like that's why I said he ended up almost being number 1 because it was such a perfect fit for him.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I when you said that, now I'm here, you're going like, I wish I would have seen Judkins with like this offensive line in Cleveland when they were younger, when they were playing with Nick Chubb.
Right?
Like,
could you imagine
like,
that?
Yeah,
again, I don't want to go off topic, but Nick Chubb would destroy people. He was averaging 5 yards a carry. It was insane. And Judkins reminds me he literally is a younger version of Nick Chubb, right? Just came out of Ohio State instead of Georgia, but he's a one-cut guy. The downhill runners are one-cut guys. They're not going to do too many jump cuts and things like that. They're going to put their foot in the ground, and they're going to go. I think Judkins is more athletic than Amari and Hampton. I think he can go sideways a little bit more. I think his lateral quickness, and that's what I mean athletic is he can jump and make catches. And he can torque his, he can do different things, lateral movement. He can do different things that I think Amari Hampton would struggle with, but he's just as big or similar size, right? And to me, that type of athleticism paired up with that running game makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and he's part of this young core like I brought up, and I wonder how much he helps if they go with Shedeur Sanders in 2026. How much does Judkins help his growth in year 2 as a starting quarterback? And my understanding is they do believe he is going to be good to go most likely for camp, which would be great. And so he does get that camp in year 2.
He had the same injury as Fred Warner. Fred Warner's back after 96 days.
Fred Warner's out there sprinting around at practice before the divisional round game.
If he's not back for training camp, we got to go talk to somebody because that's crazy.
Well, no, he's going to be. Listen, he'll be back. My point is he'll have a full camp.
Yeah,
is my point. Yeah. Finally. So I'm excited to see what that'll be like.
Maybe I'm not going to lie. Maybe he shouldn't have a full camp because what he did last year.
That's what he's going to pitch to the staff. He's going to be like, guys, did you see last year?
Yeah, relax.
I'm good. I don't need to do that. I do it my way. All right, so let's throw out some grades here for Quinshon Judkins. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house, it's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action, so when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood. Now available across the US, download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. All right, so let's throw out some grades here for Quinshon Judkins. Between the tackles here, what do we got?
I'd give him an A.
Okay.
I thought he did well between the tackles.
Love it. Okay. Explosive plays.
He became an explosive player, so much so that they gave him wildcat stuff on the goal line. So I'd give him an A in that situation.
Okay. They need to work on and I know Andrew Barry and company, I'm not saying anything they don't know. We got to get some youth on that offensive line, some other guys up front there for this offense.
We got to get that big tackle healthy too. God, Lee. Blocks out the sun but can't play.
Another Ohio State guy. Dwan Jones, I think it is.
Yeah.
Hands. I think he's a decent catcher.
Yeah, I would say he's a B plus guy. Hands. I mean, again, I didn't see him play a lot of wide receiver. I didn't think I didn't think they asked him to do those things. But I would. I think he had good hands. I mean, I saw him catch the ball a little bit. And he looked explosive when he caught it. Like he'd catch it and turn and make guys miss in the screen game. He wasn't no Harold Fannin, which again I think they knocked that one out of the park better than anybody.
Pass protection. It's something that's taught a lot at Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's emphasized there with these backs that have come out of there. I mean, Zeke was outstanding out of Ohio State in terms of pass protection. We do one also on Travion Henderson, so check that out. And he was great at Ohio State. What did you think of Quinshon Judkins as
I thought he was an A- B+ guy. I thought he did what he was supposed to do. I thought that he fit the protection right. He knew where he was supposed to be. And he blocked. It wasn't a lot of missed protections or different things like that. And like I say, majority of these guys, they all actually took well to blocking. It wasn't an issue, if that makes sense. And so that to me is what makes me feel really good because that's how I got on the field in the NFL was being a third down back first blocking and then getting on there. So much so that I used to call myself the sixth lineman just to piss me off because I would block so much in games. But that's what it is.
Did you hang out with the offensive lineman when you did
all
that?
the time?
You were just rolling with those guys, weren't you? That's what I thought.
Maurice, You're going to take on whoever's blitzing. It could be anybody, and then you just have to be in sync with the O-line. Like, we used to have O-line meetings, and I'd be in there going over third down protections with them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You just be in there. Let me ask you this, because this is just me being a football nerd, and we have a moment. Like, you look at guys like Jesse Minter and guys that understand the protection package so well of what the offense is trying to do, right? So the game now is what, MJD? You try to bring somebody else that is not maybe an assignment of what the running back was looking. How do you do that from a back standpoint with the way that these defenses are going? I know that as a running back, your assignment is here and here most likely, and then the blitz is going to come from there. How do you figure that out, scan it? How does that work for backs in today's game?
It's funny because the simple blitz to do to overload a protection is to blitz where the back is at, right? So if I'm on the right side of the offense and you're the left side of the defense, you're going to send the linebacker and the safety, right? Really, you're just sending the linebacker, and the safety is going to green dog, which is cover the back man-to-man and add on late, right? That's the easiest way to overload a protection. That's what a lot of people have done. But Jesse Minter does what Rex Ryan used to do, which is he would have everyone on the right side, and he would force you to slide your line to that side because, again, the quickest way to the quarterback is a straight line. So where all your threats are, you're going to slide that way. Those guys will drop out, and then he's blitzing from the other side. What that does is all five linemen are going to point to who they're going to block, right? So they'll say we have the 4 down and the Mike backer, and then you have everyone else. Mm-hmm. Well, when you get those overload protections or those overload blitzes, they're going to all say now we're sliding to that side. Let's say if we're sliding to the right side, and we're going to slide everyone over there, and the left tackle's going to be by himself on this side, and then you have everyone else on the left side. Let's just say. Well, here comes the left side with 3 guys blitzing, right? Because all these guys are over here, so the line's going to kick that way, and now you're going to kick back, and they're going to try to retrace, and that's what a lot of people have done. It's a very interesting way of doing it. Actually, it's so funny. In high school, like I work for the Rams, so I'm around Chris Shula all the time. I'm around Mike LaFleur, Sean, all those guys, and what I just described is what a lot of teams have done. The only problem is when you do those type of things, you leave holes in the zone. And some of these teams, i.e. Carolina, will throw a quick pass into where you vacate, and then it'll be a touchdown, or it'll be a first down. And so when you do those exotic blitzes, you're leaving yourself a little bit vulnerable. But it's all about the risk. Like, am I willing? Are we going to get there? Can we get there? And when you see Jesse Minter, when they do send those blitzes or those different things, they're firing linebackers in gaps, and their safeties are coming all over the place. Like you have to understand who, like, if I'm the Chargers and I again, this is me just watching them. Whenever Derwin James is by the line of scrimmage, he's blitzing. It doesn't.
And he's good at it.
He's blitzing, right? So I know that. So when I see him around the line of scrimmage, I light up. Dude. I'm gonna go block him, right? So some coaches have tendencies, and that's how you're able to fix your protections to those crazy blitzes. But then some don't. And when they don't, you just have to go to your rules, and sometimes they get you, sometimes they don't.
Man, I feel like it's harder to play running back without the ball.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. I want this on air too. I want to make sure this should be clipped out. I can't believe running back coaches don't get OC jobs, because the running back they have to know the passing game and the just like the quarterback, they're involved in the passing game and the check down. They have to be able to convert versus certain man or zone reads. They have to know the line calls, both in the running game and the passing game. Obviously in the running game, because I need to know where I'm going to go and where you guys are blocking, so I know who to read and how to do things. And then on top of that, last but not least, in the protection, I have to know exactly what's going on. Because if I don't know what's going on, your quarterback is going to get his back of his head knocked in. And so you're the last line of defense for the quarterback in pass protection. And to me, it's insane to not see running back coaches who are so involved in the passing game, which, again, we talked about McCaffrey. We talked about a lot of these coaches who are coaching these, guys that are coaching Gibbs. Gibbs plays wide receiver. You have to know the receiver concepts, right? You have to know the passing concepts. How do these guys not get OC jobs where they have to know everything about the offense? I'm just saying, receiver coaches, all they need to know is it cover 2, cover 4 is a man. How do I convert my route? No disrespect to them, right? I'm just saying.
Yes.
O-line coaches, I have to understand the protection part of it, right? Passing and running. Running backs have to know everything. You have to know the game just like the quarterback. And in some cases, I won't say names, but the quarterback asks the running back, what do I have here?
Oh.
And hey, every now and then the running back needs to say, hey, look, we're going to go do this. Or, hey, it's looking like this coverage. Especially when you have younger quarterbacks that you played with. So it's just like the running back coach has to know so much and be so vital in the game plan. It's crazy that they don't get opportunities to be OCs.
I love that you said that. First off, we know that MJD works with the Rams. Guess what? That's not Matthew Stafford asking the running backs on what he needs to see. It ain't Stafford. But the other thing is that I was smiling when you were saying this because I had literally last week a running, and I'll have you guess when we're off camera. I had a running back coach text me last week going, I guess I'll just keep putting my head down and grinding and working the way I'm working, but I'm not sure why nobody wants to talk to a Super Bowl winning running back coach that just churns out good players and knows offenses inside and out. I'll have you guess it. We'll talk about it.
I already know what team that is, and I love that. I'm just telling you, Eric Bieniemy, when he was the OC for the Kansas City Chiefs, for some reason they were the number one offense and they won multiple Super Bowls. I'm just saying. All of a sudden, no disrespect to Matt Nagy, he won a Super Bowl, but all of a sudden that offense went like this.
No EB. And then EB grew a tremendous beard in Chicago.
He did. I hope he shaved that thing. I can't wait to see him this week.
You're going to see your boy. All right, so then growth for Quinshon Judkins. Before we got one more and then our overall grade.
I think growth for him is, one, he has
a full off season.
Yeah, he has a healthy off season, get healthy, and then go through training camp. And I think, again, this is more of an incomplete because I want to see him get a full training camp. He excelled in without having all the time and the coaching that was needed. How much better can you be with the new staff, full off season, completely healthy, and then with a healthy offensive line, right? Like their O-line was tormented. So I would say growth is incomplete just because there were so many variables. He played with 3 different quarterbacks?
I'm trying to three.
No Flacco,
I don't know if he played with all 4.
How
play with 3.
Growth is he has room to grow for sure. I don't think this is where he's going to end, but I just need to see what he does starting next year.
Got it. Okay, so then overall grade for Quinshon Judkins MJD is what?
A+.
Hey, boom. Let's go. Oh, A+. Let's go.
I thought that fit and probably the last person that will do fit might have been the best one.
Okay, that's perfect. That's a good tease. I think you're right, and I think that's the way the people in that Browns building feel as well on the way Quinshon Judkins was.